Look, today I'm here to talk about Ballymore Resources. Ballymore is a relatively new company. We listed in late 2021. Our focus is very much on exploration and development of copper and gold projects in North Queensland. We're very, as a company, we're very fortunate we were able to raise $11.1 million late last year on the back of some really exciting results from our Dipmar project. So we're well cashed up. We're very fortunate to have had Taurus Royalty Fund come on board as a major shareholder, putting in $7.5 million. Our cash holding it says 2.1 million. That was at the end of the March quarter. About a week after that, we got further approval and that $7.5 million landed in the bank. So we are very well funded, and that's allowing us to do some really exciting exploration. Our projects, as I've already said, are in North Queensland. If we zoom in, our projects are located up between Cairns and Proserpine. Running through our projects, up north, inland from Cairns, we have the Ruddigore project and the Mount Molloy project. These are two copper projects that we have up there. In addition to that, we also have the Ravenswood project down near Charters Towers. But our flagship project is the Dipmar project down near Proserpine. The Dipmar project's a real gem, I believe, that probably hasn't been recognised as well as it should have. Gold was first discovered here in the 1880s, and it was renowned for its high-grade gold. A number of the old mines often ran at over 500 grams per tonne. It was spectacular grades. There's numerous old workings here, but for whatever reason, there hasn't been a lot of modern exploration in this area. We are the largest tenement holder in the area. We now have over 500 square kilometres of tenement, and we also have a number of mining leases in the area as well. You can see the two mining leases. One's over the Dipmar mine, the other's over the Lamington mine. If we zoom down underground, here's a little snapshot of the Dipmar underground mine itself. Dipmar was actually the highest grade gold mine when it operated. It was first found in 1930 and operated through to 1951. And while it operated, it averaged about 151 grams gold, as well as having 66 grams silver and 2.8% copper. It was remarkable, 5 ounces a tonne. We'd all like to see some more of that. I guess when we first picked up this ground, the big question for us was why did they stop mining at less than 200 metres below surface? So we actually opened up the old mine to try and get some more information. We were able to do more mapping and channel sampling. Got some spectacular channel sample results, up to 264 grams gold and 5% copper. Amazingly, when we first picked up this project, it had never been drilled. So we've gone and subsequently done now 42 holes into it. Our early drilling did confirm that it had pinched out at depth the lode of the mine, but fortunately for us, we picked up an extension to it. And I guess that's the really exciting part of this, is recognising the extension to one of these high-grade veins. Since we started drilling, we've now completed 42 holes into the project. Every single one of them's hit the lode as expected, and we've reported, it's fair to say, some quite spectacular drill results. The highlight being hole 9, which got 4.3 metres at 29 grams gold, and within there's 2.5 metres at 55 grams. The other thing about our drilling that we've recognised is that the lode itself is typically sitting within a shear zone that's between 3 to 5 metres wide. It does seem to be getting wider at depth, and within it there are a number of generally extremely high-grade veins, and you can see some of the examples of that. Individual samples running 129 grams and 193 grams per tonne. If we look at the project and the project itself, the old timers were mining that red lode, which is what they call the duffer lode. And as I say, our drilling has suggested that it pinches out at depth. Fortunately for us, though, we've recognised that there is actually more to the story. We think there's a structure that's basically thrown that lode up against it, and we actually have the repetition of the lode within 30 metres of the existing workings. The old timers did try and look for it. They put a few little drives out. They came agonisingly close, but unfortunately for them and very fortunately for us, they were unsuccessful with recognising it. So at this point, we've basically drilled a similar area to what the old timers have defined in their mining. They've produced 50,000 ounces in this area, and we think we've continued to deliver really spectacular results in a similar sort of area, and it remains open along strike and down dip. On top of the drilling, we've also been madly doing field work out there and getting a lot of great work going on out there. There's been mapping and soil sampling and geophysics surveys. It's fairly severe terrain. It's quite steep and quite heavily vegetated, but look, the results are really starting to deliver and really show what the possibilities are for this place. You can see that little red bar, that's basically the extent of our drilling to date. That's about 250 metres. As you can see along strike from that, our soil sampling is actually showing a gold anomaly that extends for at least 2 kilometres in that same direction. So the Duffer lode is potentially a lot larger than what the old timers were mining. And we think there's a real great potential here for something substantial, a very large gold system. On top of that, you might notice the green area of contouring. That's also another interesting tale. We can see a number of different structures are highlighted in our soils. And it's interesting that where the Lockney lode and the Duffer lode, two of the major structures in this area, come together, we're starting to see a bit of a significant copper anomaly starting to develop. We already know that there's a number of porphyry systems in this area that are historically recognised by CRA and MIM in the 70s. And we speculate there might be a large porphyry sitting underneath this system as well. To test this really exciting target, we've now rolled out a surface drill rig to do the first surface program of any note out here in this area. It's more of a proof of concept, and the plan of it is to basically go out there and test and hopefully demonstrate the extension of the structure of a large area. If successful, we'll do a lot more, and this could potentially be a very significant gold system. Just looking through the soils in a bit more detail, here's the gold and soils. Once again, you can see the extent of those soils in the contouring. Here's your copper results. And as I say, up in that northeastern corner, and it's very much restricted by the sampling we've covered, and it could be a lot larger. Looking a bit further out of field, one thing about this area, historically, numerous old workings in this area, and they all have a range of different styles. Up in the northern area, the area is dominated by sediments and volcanics, and we typically see a lot of vein-hosted and breccia-hosted little systems down here. In the southern part of our licence area, all those sediments and volcanics have been eroded off, and we're looking deeper in the system, and we see a number of very significant porphyry systems. Just off our ground is the Julavon Creek porphyry. That has a resource of over 60 million tonnes in it. In our ground, we also have the Andromache porphyry system. Andromache was recognised by MIM in the 70s. In the 80s, a group mined the gold cap off it, but very little work's been done on mining evaluating the copper. So we're making efforts to alleviate and solve that problem. We're also gearing up to start drilling at Cedar Ridge, which is the stockwork vein system up there. So as we look deeper in the system, we're seeing larger, bigger systems, and we think that's a possibility of what might be sitting underneath at Ditmar as well. Just quickly running through our other projects. Our Ruddigore project's up in the Chillagoe area. It's once again historically a prolific mining area and also processing area. The first smelter in Queensland was built there. We have a very large sediment package that sits on the same structural corridor that hosts all the historic major mines in the area, as well as Red Dome and Mungana. The first area we looked at in this was the Ruddigore mine itself, which is an old historic copper mine. We defined a very large geochemical anomaly over this. To date, we've only completed 6 holes into it, but they've demonstrated very impressive shallow copper. Our best intersection to date being 86 metres at 0.5% copper. We're looking to bring out a drill rig to test the extent of that, and hopefully there's a potential for a very significant shallow copper resource here. We also have a really interesting target at Maniapota down south, which is along the same corridor. It's a polymetallic skarn system, and we're gearing up to do a geophysics survey on that one. We also have the Mount Malloy project up there. This historically was founded in 1880. It's a high-grade copper VMS deposit that during its life it averaged 9% copper. We've already demonstrated a very large geochemical anomaly over it. We're getting rock chips up to 30% copper, and we're leveraging off that geophysics survey we're flying at Chillagoe. We're going to then fly a geophysics survey over this, which will hopefully define a number of lenses of further mineralisation. Last but not least, we have the Ravenswood project. This is a significant tenement package in the Charters Towers district, a long strike from the Mount Lation mine. We literally adjoin that. We have a whole series of vein-hosted and breccia-hosted targets here, and a really exciting target called Daydorn. It's a high-grade gold-silver target, which has had its rock chips running up to 127 grams gold and 7,100 grams silver. We're looking to drill that for the first time this year as well. It's always nice to get free money from the government. We also, earlier this year, received two CEI grants for $300,000 each. That's a really fantastic effort, and it's a real, I think, endorsement of the work we're doing in this area. We've just completed the first of those, which was a magnetic survey, a detailed magnetic survey over the Ditmar area. We haven't seen the final results of it yet, but the prelim data I've seen, it's going to be such a great data set for helping us for targeting. We're also, at the end of this month, looking to fly an airborne EM survey through that same structural corridor I spoke about in that Chillagoe area, and once again, that will lead to more exciting drill targets in that part of the world. So look, in summary, I think we've got 4 very exciting projects. Our Ditmar project, our flagship project, just continues to go from strength to strength. We found the fold extension to one of the highest grade gold mines in the country, and drilling of it has successfully managed to hit, just regularly bonanza grade intersections. We continue to drill it. It remains open in every direction, and we've now rolled out the drill rig to do step out drilling and to test further afield, and that could be the transformational step that could lead to this being a multi-million ounce deposit. We have a number of other very exciting targets and projects, and there's a lot of exciting work. We're well funded, and I expect there to be some fantastic, great news flow coming out. So if you would like to come and see us and learn more, our booth is literally out the door there. You literally trip over us as you walk out, so come and see us. Thank you very much.